to see all of you together.
Pushpa.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿ ಬಹಳ ದಿವಸ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಊರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮೊದಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲೇನೆ ಅಂತ. ಈ 4 ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ.
ಓ,
ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ 20th US ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಅದೇನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದಿವಸ ಇಲ್ಲ. I am in US for about 9 days. 9 days. Then about UK for 8 days, sir. 8 days.
Oh, great. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Soon I have to sir.
ಯತೀಶ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ.
Yes, Ravishankar sir.
ರವಿ. ಕನ್ನಡ ರವಿ.
ಡನ್ ಸರ್.
ಎಸ್, ಯಾರು ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾನು ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ನಿವೃತ್ತ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿ, ಕಾಯಕ ಯೋಗಿ, ನಿಜ ದೇಶ ಪ್ರೇಮಿ, ಹಣ ಕೀರ್ತಿಗಳ ದೂರ ಇದ್ದಂತ ನಿಯಮಶೀಲ ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾವಂತ ಬಹು ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮೈಗೂಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ವಿಶ್ವಮಾನ್ಯ ಭಾರತ ರತ್ನ ಕರಂಬೀರ್ ಅವರ 162ನೇ ಜನ್ಮದಿನ ಇಂದು. ಅವರ ಸ್ಮರಣೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಗುರುರಾಜ್ ಕರ್ಜಗಿರವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಮಕೂರಿನ ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ವಿನೂತನ ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ತರಬೇತಿ ಆರಂಭಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು, ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇದನ್ನ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ಬಳಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿರೆಂದು ವಿನಂತಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ, ಆದಿತ್ಯ ಬಿರ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪುರಸ್ಕೃತರು, ಸಮಾಜ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮಾದರಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು, ದಾವಣಗೆರೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರು, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಗುರುರಾಜ್ ಕರ್ಜಗಿರವರ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಶಿಷ್ಯರು, ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಸಹ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿ ಮತ್ತು ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳ ಸಂಚಾಲಕರಾಗಿರುವ ಶ್ರೀ ಯತೀಶ್ ರವರು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಕುರಾರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕೆಂದು ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. Over to Yatish.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's my honor to be part of this excellent program. And first time I'm hosting the Gururaj Karajagi institutions, whichever he builds it. So it's been my pleasure being with him for the last 20 years. And with that, and I'll initiate this, start this program. I would like to start this program saluting my salutation to Shri Dr. Shivkumar Mahaswami. Taking his blessings, I'll start this session. Distinguished guests, our school management members, teachers, and ladies and gentlemen. This is a special occasion for all of us to meet Dr. Gururaj Karajagi. And we, Tacle, is initiating coming with a new avatar with the Tacle virtual training sessions. For these sessions, we have invited Dr. Gururaj Karajagi, our chief patron of Tacle, with us. So this is one Tacle, one of the members, Dr. Jyoti Pant ma'am, to invoke the sessions with the welcome note. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, sir, for leaving me. Kani kundalamu tihar दिवाला पाहुन नमस्कार दिवाला विला तुलसी पाशी. Now I begin this holy task of welcoming one and all to this inaugural program. Professor Gururaj Karajagi sir, who is a renowned personality in the field of education and an eminent motivational speaker who has given thousands of motivational talks and touched the hearts of millions. He has even authored and published 22 books of educational importance. He has published his lectures in over 800 videos in a YouTube channel, not Miracle, and they are viewed by more than 20 million times. His daily morning talks on AIR have made him a household man in Karnataka. He has even contributed much for the reformation of primary and secondary education system.
Jyoti ma'am, it's not audible properly.
Him a household man in Karnataka. He has even contributed much for the reformation of primary and secondary education system. He is a founder of ACT, that is Academy of Creative Teaching, through which he has handled 90 schools and trained over 20 lakhs teachers. He is a founder director of International Academy of Creative Teaching. His finest contribution to education of 1 year. He learned in 20th century is not relevant for this 21st century. Hence, it's our responsibility to hone our skills of teaching and to rejuvenate the knowledge that we have in the light of today's creative, confident, techno-savvy, digital natives or digital residents. All of this should have the impingement of human touch to reach the minds and souls of the children. All these thoughts are the vision of our organization, ACT Tackle, which is the torchlight of our steps given by Karajagi sir. Sir is having laudable personality and he has created a positive aura by his presence in this program. And is going to motivate us in our endeavors. Hence, I take this opportunity to welcome sir on behalf of all of us. My hearty welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now I take this opportunity to welcome the president of ACT Tackle, Tumakuru, and a renowned environmentalist, a good administrator, and an excellent speaker, Professor Niranjana Radhya sir, to this program. I welcome you, sir. It's a privilege to welcome the president of educational sector of ACT Tackle, Tumakuru, and a retired English professor who has a zeal of extending helping hands to the English learning aspirants. He is Professor M.B. Sadashivaya sir. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of all of us, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
I extend warm welcome to Sir Kumaraswamy sir, Sri Kumaraswamy sir, a mastermind behind coordinating the personnel for the active functioning of this organization. He is a good orator and an affable personality. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of all of us.
Anyone.
I welcome all the members of ACT Tackle, Tumakuru, Shri Yatish sir, Kumar sir, Mallesh Babu sir, Ravi Shankar sir, and one more Ravi Shankar sir. I welcome you all to this program.
Thank you, madam.
It's a honor to me to welcome all the management representatives of different institutions, heads of institutions, teachers of various institutions who have joined their hands in the conduct of this event by their participation. I welcome you all to this inaugural program.
Thank you, madam.
Welcoming one and all to this program, I shall cut into my welcome speech. Thank you for providing me this opportunity to welcome you all. Thank you very much. Now over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. On behalf of ACT Tackle, and we also welcome Dr. Jyoti Pant ma'am, who is a member of our ACT Tackle. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome to
Thank you very much.
Dear friends, this is ACT Tackle. It started a decade back and started serving training teachers with the guidance of Dr. H.S. Niranjana Radhya and S. Kumaraswamy sir. So now we have still a president of our ACT Tackle, Dr. Niranjana Radhya. So I request Dr. Niranjana Radhya sir to brief how ACT Tackle, what is his intention and what are the goals of the ACT Tackle and how ACT Tackle is associated with ACT and Dr. Gururaj Karajagi. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Yatish. My dear teachers and educational administrators, I am Dr. H.S. Niranjana Radhya. Basically, I was a teacher and principal of Sri Siddhganga Arts, Science and Commerce College. After retirement, I am the principal of Sri Saptagiri PU College. And as a teacher, I was pulled into this ACT group. And finally, we were able to form ACT Tackle here in Tumakuru under the chief patronship and guidance of Dr. Gururaj Karajagi. Dr. Gururaj Karajagi was here for certain function and he initiated this one. Thank you, Dr. Gururaj Karajagi. It was a great opportunity that was given to you by us. And when this particular organization started, the title was given as Tackle, Tumakuru Academy for Creative Learning and Excellence. And it is an offshoot or brainchild of Act. And Dr. Shri Shukumar Swamiji and Dr. Shri Siddhalinga Swamiji were kind enough to give us the space very near the Siddhalinga College of Education, and we started training our teachers here in Tumakuru district. We conducted several programs like teachers training program, finishing school, finally academic leadership for the headmasters and principals, art of parenting for the parents, and also happy married life of that. So many functions we were able to conduct, and it was a very good start here in Tumakuru. Basically, after Corona, somehow we were not able to continue such kind of activities. Now, under the leadership of Sri Yatish and under the chief patron of Dr. Gururaj Karajagi, now once again under the digital platform, we are coming up with good number of programs. We are planning to go with good number of teacher training programs, especially through this digital platform. Hence, I request all the educational administrators and also teachers to actively participate in this learning program. Once again, thank you. Over to Yatish.
Thank you, sir. School educators and school management members, we have a treat for you, all of you today, this evening. The treat is our all virtual training sessions will be initiated with a keynote address by the chief patron of Act Tackle and my mentor and the two teachers, Dr. Gururaj Karajagi. So I request Dr. Gururaj Karajagi, sir, to talk about what is the essential of this virtual meet in the 21st century and how future education will be in future. So I request you, sir, it's over to you, sir.
Yes.
And I'm glad to be anchoring this program, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yatish. I'm so honored and I feel blessed that I'm talking to one of the finest educationists of Tumakuru. I offer my pranams to the Guru Parampara of Siddhaganga Math. I have enjoyed the blessings of the Swamijis there. I remember them. And also, I'm grateful to the Tackle members for having organized this program. Most important. Because human mind is so creative. You cannot suppress the creativity of human beings. In fact, in one of the articles I wrote, necessity is the mother of invention. It's a very famous quote. It says, necessity is the mother of invention. I wrote, yes, necessity is the mother of invention, all right, but frustration is the father of creativity. Frustration is the father of creativity. It happens when the whole world was in the umbrella of Corona. I think we should know, I'm sure you all know, that for the first time in human history, more than 98% of the students remained out of the classrooms. First time. The 20th century is the bloodiest of all centuries in human history. We saw 2 world wars. Even during world wars, certain countries were affected. Others were okay. The classes were going on, education was going on. But for the first time in human history, the entire education system slumbered. They could not do anything. And we have made some research in that. Though we say mathematically we lost 2 years of learning, but it's much more than that. We have made a research which says you have missed the classes for 2 years, but the learning curve is affected. The learning style is affected. And it takes minimum 5 years to come back to tracks. Minimum 5 years. You would have seen in the schools now, there is a change in the attitude of the students. Quite a few students have become bulky. Some students have become lethargic. They don't like to come to schools. And another thing is most of them have got spectacles now because they are studying, had online classes and mobiles and computers. They got spectacles. And parents must be complaining to you that children have become very arrogant, adamant. These are the multiplier effects, spin-off effects of a child remaining in the house for a long time. Even teachers are finding it difficult. I know I have interacted with quite a few teachers. They are finding it difficult because they are used to sitting and taking classes online. Now they have to stand and take the class for 5 periods and 6 periods. They are complaining now, difficult to take the class. This is one change in the classroom pattern. Today I am going to talk about the future of education. Where would it go? I am not talking of the next 2 years or 5 years. I am talking of the next 10 to 15 years. And as educationists, we should be very, very careful about the trends we are going to have. We are all academic leaders. And as leaders, we should remember one important thing. Don't react to incidents, but don't miss trends. Incident is okay. One child coming to the late to the class is okay. But if you find a child coming to the class regularly, coming late to the class regularly, then this is a trend. Anything can happen. But if it happens with a regularity, then that becomes a trend. If you observe the trends in education for the last 10 years and extrapolate it, you will not need anywhere, you will not go anywhere. The reason is that education is not the process of extrapolation. I was doing some training session for teachers. I asked a set of teachers, what is the strength of your school now? How many children are there? She said 1,500 students. Very good. What would be the kind of school that you have in 10 years from now? What will be the strength of your school in 10 years from now? She thought for a moment and said, yes, sir, we have 1,500. At that time, probably about 3,500 students in the school. This is the human mind. It tries to extrapolate. I have 1,500 now, 10 years from now, it could be 3,500. But school education is not just mathematics. It's something totally different. It could so happen that we will not have students in the classroom. The number of students may come down drastically. Many things can happen. In fact, you can't predict what kind of curriculum we'll be teaching in next 10 years. NEP has brought in some change now. But the question is, how would it be implemented in the classroom? How would parents take it? I have identified the whole issue into 5, 6 or 7 important stages. What would happen to education now? I'm just wondering to ask you, could we have done this online class 5 years ago? Before Corona came? We did not even think of Zoom. We did not think of virtual meets at all. Because physical meeting was easy and is possible. Therefore, now we are used to this idea of online classes. The students, you dictate in the class the notes, the students wrote down the notes. They would say, please don't dictate notes. Put on the email, we'll copy it. Or put in the Google form, we'll download it. So students have come to believe that why do you write all that? In fact, in one school recently, one child asked me, sir, why are you writing down? Why do you write? Normally when you grow up, we type. Computer require typing and computer takes care of the spellings, sentence construction. Then why do you have to do it? We take care of your child. We have got the excellent faculty. We have got hands-on experience. Many things we complain, suggest. And now we are trying to market the school. The reason is very simple. Earlier there were very few schools and large number of children. Today we have a large number of schools in the same area. Parents have the option. If I don't get, I'll go to another one. It's like a shopping mall. If I don't get here, I'll go to another shop. Same thing is available elsewhere. So therefore, unless you are good enough, you will not survive. 15, 20 years ago, we used to say, schools will not close down. Factories and shops can close down. Schools would not close down because schools are meant to live for hundreds of years. Today it is not so. My friends, you know very well, in Corona time, and soon after Corona, many schools got closed. To the shocking thing for many of the educationists, how can school close? Very simple. In fact, what called survival of the fittest now, if you do well, teach well, students will come to you. Otherwise, they will disappear. Like shops. One shop sells good materials, people go there. I always give this example. In Gandhi Bazaar, in Bangalore, there is a hotel called Vidyarthi Bhavan. I know these people very well, closely. Adig is a good friend of mine. There it's 7 o'clock, or sometimes 7:30. People fight with one another to get a token. And in the next building, there's another big hotel, more posh, air conditioned, sofas are there. Person-centric universe will disappear. Individual names will not matter at all. Earlier we used to say, oh, he is there. Oh, that school is run because of him. Oh, that school is what? It was a person-centric universe. Please believe me, anything grows around a person will last just as long as the person is alive. The moment the person disappears, the system collapses. History has taught us adequately. Hitler, when Hitler was there, the country grew very fast, but collapse was too equally fast. Now we have learned a lesson now. It is not the person per se is important, it is the process that is important. Any institution which runs on a definite process will live long. Anyone which revolves around the reputation of an individual will not live long. Therefore, person has to be replaced by a process. This is writing on the wall. If I say, I know, I can run it, I will do it, I know people, this will not work. It's the lesson for all the managements. People in future will not come to you because of your reputation, your personal glory. They'll come to your school only when your processes are so properly defined, they're transparent, and parents can see, yes, if I put my son here, my daughter here, she'll be happy. So therefore, the future is all about process-centric schools rather than person-centric schools. Yeah, it is possible. The name of a person may attract a few students for a few years, but in the long run it will not work. It will not work. And then, this is another important thing that is going to affect the schools. Now the school should offer personalized education now. This I am making a very important statement. First I mentioned technology, second accessibility, and third is process-centric systems, not person-centric. And the fourth and the most important one is parents and the children will start demanding personalized care, personalized education. NEP has brought that important factor there. Student can choose the subject of his choice. It's a beginning. Please believe me, it's only the beginning. It's a good beginning, I should say. Earlier, whether the student liked it or not, he had to take all the 5 subjects. He had to take 5 subjects. I don't know, I don't like mathematics, but I have to take it, otherwise I'll declare fail. Science, mathematics, social science, Kannada, English, and computer science, compulsory. Even today in state board examinations and other exams are compulsory. And we branded the students as dull or not intelligent based on the marks card. If the student cannot score good marks in mathematics and science, we say he's a dull boy. In future, it will not happen like that. He said, I'm not bothered about mathematics and science. I want to study literature. He'll come and study literature. He said, I want that. Now he will not take what you give. I'm not talking of tomorrow and day after. I'm taking up to 5 years from now. And my aim is about next 20 years. I'm talking about this trend is bound to come. Students will come and ask you, do you have this? Do you have this? I compare this with the grocery shop. When I was a child, when I used to go to the grocery shop, there's a shop and we stand outside and the owner asks, what do you want? I have a list with me. I want so much of jaggery, I want sugar so much, I want this dal, I want rice and all that. Give the slip to him. He'll pack it and give it to me, I bring it back. That means I got what I wanted and what he gave me. That is the only quality we had. But today is a shopping mall. I take my trolley. There are 10 soaps, 15 shampoos, all different kinds are there. You can choose what you want. I don't like this fragrance, I don't like this color. You have a choice. Slowly and slowly, in education also that is going to happen. Students come and say, I don't want mathematics. Can you teach me philosophy? Why I'm telling is one simple reason, my friends, why this is going to happen. Because of technology, the whole world has become a small village now. Earlier, our exposure to the outside world was very small. Today, it's just open. And young boys and girls travel to different countries, see the system there, they come back and say, why can't we have that? That means earlier you were benchmarking in Tumakuru with another good school in Tumakuru, or at best good school in Bangalore, or perhaps good school in India. You are benchmarking with that. Today benchmarking is not with that. In another 10 years, your benchmarking will be the best schools in Munich, best schools in England, best school in US, best school in Canada. It could be anywhere in the world. That means since the whole world has become a global village, your benchmarking has to be much different. You can't say my school is the best in Tumakuru. They'll say, how are you compared with that? That school in England offers this combination. It will happen very surely now. NEP has given a taste of it. Now, according to NEP, a child can avoid mathematics and science and still complete 10th standard. NIO started the gate. So therefore, the reason is that global benchmarking is going to be important. If that is going to be important, children here in Tumakuru will start expecting the same standards as in another developed country. Perhaps in Bangalore, a new trend has started. It started for last 8 to 9 years or 10 years. Homeschooling. They say, we don't want child to go to school. Not required. They are teaching so many unnecessary things. I'll teach them what is required. Homeschooling is becoming very important now. Many people are going to that. Slowly, you apply the same extension here. Parents will come and ask you, will you teach me this? If you don't teach, I'll go to another school which are willing to teach. Now there will be competition between schools to offer more combinations, more subjects. And anyone which offers more subjects, more options, will be preferred. But then the question comes, if I offer 10 subjects, how will I accommodate the students? Classrooms, and because you are thinking of today's terms. And supposing only 3 students take up a subject philosophy, how will I manage a full-time teacher? How can I offer the salary? Because only 3 students are there, and fee collection is small. This is very interesting, very interesting. I have much some study about what is happening in other countries, and they have gone through this mill. Slowly and slowly, what perhaps would happen is, there won't be any permanent teachers in any school. It will be all tenure-based teachers. I'll hire you for a period of 3 years. If you are found good, I'll continue. Otherwise, no, thank you. That means in 3 years, you have to demonstrate that you are a good teacher. Perform well. Earlier, once you join, you have an insurance for next 30 years. You can continue. Nobody will touch you till you retire. But it's not so now. They say, we'll assess your performance. It's happening in private schools now. Somebody is not doing well, thank you. We don't want you. So therefore, teachers have to be on their toes to perform all the time. You have seen the IT company people, they are virtually rich. They give you more money, but they'll squeeze you every ounce of blood. They have to work hard, otherwise they are not survive. They give a pink slip. Slowly, that will come into the schools also. Teachers have to be on their toes, prepared all the time. You have to perform, demonstrate that you are performing, and that performance will be the focus in future, in schools also. Because you have to offer subject-wise, and supposing there is a great demand for English now, you take 3 more teachers, and after 4 years, demand for English comes down, and philosophy happens, or science happens, or art happens, music happens, dance happens. Then what will happen? What will happen to the teachers in English we had taken earlier? You don't require so many teachers. So therefore, tenure-based teaching will become more common in future. And then, assessment patterns will be different in future. Today's assessment is very easy. We have a question paper, you answer the questions and there are marks given, and we say 60% you are first class, 75% distinction and all that. But to put in a lighter vein, our assessments are very, very weak today, very weak. You have seen yourself in your schools and colleges. If you are in a PUC college, you wonder how this fellow passed 10th standard. He doesn't know anything. I have done that work. I asked the college people, first year college, they said, I don't know how this fellow passed PUC, sir. He does not know anything. I asked the PUC lecturer, they said, I don't know, sir, how he passed 10th standard board examination. He doesn't know, sir. School they have not taught properly. You go to the high school, they say, sir, primary, I don't know how they pass 7th standard. the buck is passed on from one to another. Who will take the blame? That means we have been pushing a substandard material up the ladder. I'm making it very clear. If real tests were to be taken, most of the children would fail. It looks to me that we are more enthusiastic in promoting students than they are. You have got a scheme of valuation. It happened to me about a dozen years ago in Shikshakara Sadhana here. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ನನಗೆ, ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷು ಕನ್ನಡ ಎರಡು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಮಾಡಿದ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ? ಈಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ.
ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ. ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು ಬೈಲಿಂಗ್ವಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಸದಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ, ಒಬ್ರು ಟೀಚರ್ ಎದ್ದಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ ವಿಚಿತ್ರ ಅನ್ಸೋದು, ನಾವು ಹುಡುಗರಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇಡೀ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ SSLC ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಇಬ್ರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ರು ಹಾಗೇನು ಅವ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಜೀನಿಯಸ್ ರೀ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ರು ತಲೆ ಎತ್ತಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅವನ. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು 90% ಅಂತಾರೆ ಸರ್, 95% ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಏನ್ ಹೀಗೆ? ನಾವೇ ದಡ್ಡ ಇದ್ವು ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಹುಡುಗರು ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನಾನು ತಮಾಷೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಸರ್ ಇದೊಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂಗಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಏನದು ಅಂದ್ರು. ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಬರೀ ಇದು ಹೈಪೋಥೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಅದು ರಿಯಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಲ್ಪನಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಒಂದೇನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಆಕಳಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲು ಅಂತ. ಒಂದು ಆಕಳಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲು ಅಂತ 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ 3 ಅಂತ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದ. ಆ ಪೇಪರ್ ತಪಾಸಣೆ ಕೋಪ ಬಂತು, ಎಂತ ಹುಚ್ಚ ಇವನು, ಒಂದು ಆಕಳಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಚೀಫ್ ಹೇಳಿದಂತೆ, ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 0 ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ, 0 ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ. ಚೀಫ್ ಹೇಳಿದ, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ನೋಡು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲು? 4 ಕಾಲು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ? 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಕಾಲಿ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಅವನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ? 3 ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ. 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡು. ಅವನು ಕಾಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ 0 ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ he gets 75% ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಥಿಯರಂ ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ದೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪಿದಾಗ ನಾನು ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರು 0 ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು, 0 ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು. ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿ ಬೇಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿದೆ ಸರ್, 5ಕ್ಕೆ 3 ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅಂದೆ. ನಾನು ಅವ್ರು ದುರ್ಗುಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡಿದ್ರು, ಸನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವೆಲ್. ಗಣಿತ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಾವಿ ಹಾರ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಅರ್ಧ ಹಾರ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಅನ್ನೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಾಟಮಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ತಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರು. ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗ ಹಂಗಿತ್ತು, ಹೀಗಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಸುಲಭ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ನೋ ಮೈ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ that the marks are not the indicators of their intelligence. 95% ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯೋಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. That means our assessment has been quite weak. Now in future, assessments are going to be totally different. Better quality assessments will come. In fact, the Bloom's taxonomy that we are so proud of and teach, we don't use the upper 3 conditions at all. We only worry about the first 3, knowledge, understanding, application. We stop there. What about synthesis and creativity? We haven't done it. In future, the assessment standards will be higher, and if you don't perform, you are not there. It's going to be tough. Another important facet of future education will be, it is going to be money for my son. I want this. In fact, just about a week back, I was in Nagpur, and I met a few children there in Nagpur International School. I asked the boy, what did you do in the vacation? Last May vacation, what did you do? He said, I went to the Institute of Oceanography. I studied some project there, and I want to continue my career in oceanography. He's a boy in the 8th standard. That means when I was in 8th standard, I had not even heard of oceanography at all. Even today, most of the children do not know there is a career in oceanography. But this boy knows. That means the demands will be so diverse in future. Students will ask combination of their choice, the object of their choice, and assessments will be totally different, and school teaching will be multidisciplinary in nature. Because I was telling Richard Feynman, one of the finest brains the world has ever seen, a Nobel laureate in physics, particle physics, his subjects in graduation were particle physics, American history, Western music. Can we think of it in India now? In our colleges, subjects as diverse as that. Imagine tomorrow somebody comes to a college and says, I want subjects like accountancy, chemistry, and logic. We find it difficult today, but believe me, in 10 years it is going to be a reality. And then another important future I can see, change I can see, is shift from qualification to skills. I have seen in America, they don't bother about your qualification. My own classic example, I am not a PhD in management. I am not a MBA also. I am a poor teacher in chemistry. Maybe I designed something else, a subject creativity. I created a curriculum which Yatish enjoyed and suffered. I designed a course on creativity which became very popular all over the world. Otherwise, why should an institution like Harvard Business School call me to take a session there? And why should IIM Calcutta ask me to come and teach there? That means they don't bother about what your qualifications are. But still in the schools we are stuck with that. You have a B.Ed, a BSc B.Ed. If you don't have B.Ed, we can't teach. But I have seen many people can teach better without B.Ed than with B.Ed. But we are not able to take it because the government regulation says you must be a B.Ed. But in future it will disappear. Recently, Supreme Court has given an order, perhaps you know, pre-primary, primary, you can't insist on a B.Ed. You can teach without B.Ed. They can do that. Give them some training, they can do it. Slowly it's going to be a routine now. Nobody will bother about your qualification. Are you MSc Physics or MA English? A good physics teacher has good English skills, you go and teach English, no problem. It's happening. My students who did MSc Botany, now she is teaching management in a university in US. So same thing here, shift will be from qualification to skill orientation. And next one, I don't want to take much time, 2-3 points I would like to mention, because you are all such wonderful people. You will really think much better than this. Another important point that we have to be is teachers' efficiency will decide their survival, I mentioned earlier. They have got to make an effort to become efficient. I have seen people who teach English and their English is so flawed. I've seen physics teachers who do not know what are the fundamental particles of an atom. I've seen chemistry people who do not know how to read a periodic table. They have been teaching for 10 years. About a month ago, I was in a place called Gurmitkal in Gulbarga district. I met a social science teacher. He was saying, a group of audience, he was talking to them and saying, you know, the partition deed between India and Pakistan was signed by Gandhi himself. And he's so confidently mentioning. I did not want to insult him there. After his lecture, I called him and said, what are you? He said, I'm a social science teacher, sir. I've been teaching for 18 years. I said, hell with it. How, you're teaching the same thing for 18 years? Who told you? Gandhi signed the separation treaty between India and Pakistan. Sir, yellow odi this, sir. I think incorrigibly bad. My feeling is this, if you go and stand before innocent children and say this is what the truth is, and children are bound to believe you. College and master degree, they don't bother you, they verify elsewhere. But small children believe you. Now onwards it will not happen. Your class will be on CCTV, whole class will be recorded, somebody will check it up and say, you taught nonsense other day, correct it. And if you do the same thing out, you're out. So slowly and slowly, teachers' efficiency, performance will be monitored very closely by the authorities now. And last point I would like to mention and stop. We can have a lot of discussion on that. Cultural scenario, very important point I wanted to mention. When I think of the global village and global context, people would ask me, what happened to our Indian culture? Yes, it will remain. It will be strong if you approach that in the right context, right way. My father, when supposing I had to ask question about why they do it in puja, why are they doing like this? He said, don't ask questions, follow. I followed. My generation and people said, if my father said don't ask questions, I never ask questions. But today's children are different. You tell them don't ask questions, they won't accept you. They say, either you answer or don't force me to follow it. In fact, the one session that I take in most of the countries where I go to teach, they say, how do you retain Indian culture in our environment? Same question your children are going to ask questions tomorrow. How would I retain my Indian culture in India? Because you open the television, whole world is before you. Whatever happens in that part of the world is seen that second, you see it here. Your mobile has opened the world. When I was a small child, there used to be a song called Nanne Munne Bacche Teri Mutti Mein Kya Hai. Today we have mobile in our mutti. With that you can do anything. In India, you can pass on money also, transfer money. Perhaps India is the only country which can do that. Transfer money. Do anything. Get knowledge. Email, WhatsApp, Twitter, you name anything, it is available there. It is good to have power. But if you have too much power, you should know how to control it. Today, children have access to everything they want to have. They see the culture there, they see the culture here, they see the culture here, and ask a question, why should I do it? If I am not competent enough to teach them the significance of my culture, in a way they understand. In fact, it's a challenge I am facing every day. I tell them, you answer them correctly. Read, go to the books and tell them, this is the significance of this festival. Yatish knows very well. I have done that. From June to May, April, May, whatever the festivals happen in India, I have designed a content for that. Know Your Culture series. One full page article about every festival that we have. And send it to the parents and children. I have seen parents preserving them. They say, sir, 26ನೇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಕೊಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅದನ್ನು 26ನೇದು ಬಂದು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದದ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತು ನಾನು. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಮೊದಲು ನಾವು ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸಿಗೆ ಎಜುಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ತಾನೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆಫೀಸಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಸರ್ ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನಾಳೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ 17ನೇ ತಾರೀಕಿಗೆ, ಅವರು ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ 17ಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ದಾಟಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅವರು, 15th ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ, ನಿಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಬಂದದ್ದು 15ನೇ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಅಂತಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕದ್ದು 17ನೇ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ 1948. ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದ್ರ ಏನ್ರಿ ದಾಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಾನ್ ದಾಟ. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಾಗಿದೆ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ನನಗೊಂದು ಅನುಭವ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ ನೆನೆಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ವಾಷಿಂಗ್ಟನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಯಾಟ್ಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ 21 ದಿವಸ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ನಾನಲ್ಲಿ. ದಿನಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಖಾಲಿ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, 2 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, 2 ತಾಸು ಸಾಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಒಂದು 10 ಜನ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಹುಡುಗರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತದ ಹುಡುಗರೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವ್ರು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ರು. ಹಾಗೆ ಗುಂಪು ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು 3 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ 300-400 ಜನ ಆಗೋಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯವರು ಹಾಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ನನಗೆ, ನೀವು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅದನ್ನ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ನನಗೆ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಆಗೋದಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು 1 ತಾಸು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, 1 ತಾಸು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇಶದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ ಅಡಲ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಜರ್ಮನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಥಾಯ್ಸ್, ಕೊರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಮಲಯಾಳೀಸು, ನಾರ್ತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಗಿ ದಿನ ಬಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ತಪ್ಪದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಳು, ಕೊರಿಯನ್ ಹುಡುಗಿ. ಆಕೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು, ಅಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬರ್ತೀಯ ನೀನು, ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತೀಯ, ನಿನಗೇನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ನಿನಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ನೀನು, ಅರ್ಜುನ ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಜಗಳಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯಾರೋ ಬರ್ಕೋತೀಯಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಬರ್ಕೋತೀಯ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಆಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮೈ ಐಸ್. ಶಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮೀ, ನೋ ಸರ್, I don't know who is Arjuna and who is Krishna. But one thing is this, if Arjuna had a problem and Krishna solved it, why should I poke my nose in that? But if Arjuna's problem is my problem also, and Krishna's solution is useful to me, I am interested. Sir, I find Bhagavad Gita very relevant to me because I am also going through the same turmoil as Arjuna. I want to do something, I am questioning, should I do it or not? Arjuna had the same dichotomy. Should I fight or should I not fight? So whatever Krishna has told him, the approach he has told him is very relevant to me, sir. I use it. I felt happy. This is what is required in retaining Indian culture tomorrow in our classrooms. Don't simply say Krishna told. Why did he say? what Arjuna wanted. What is Arjuna's problem? That means I must know, first of all, what is culture. And secondly, I should also know how to communicate with the children. If you do that, our culture will be strong. Very, very strong. Otherwise, it is tough to maintain it. Very tough to maintain it. Another big challenge will be to retain the essence of Indian culture in a broadening education canvas. So therefore, these are the major areas of change. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen 5 years from now. But they are writing on the wall. As serious academicians, I always say, if you think of what will happen next 5 years, we are only managers. If you can think of what happens from 15 years onwards to next 25 years, you are a visionary. You are all visionaries. I want you to peg your vision on the horizons and see what is likely to happen. As I see with my limited knowledge and education, limited exposure, I feel this is bound to happen in future. How do I prepare myself for that? Prepare from today. Tomorrow is late. Prepare yourself content-wise. Start converting your schools into process-centric schools, not person-centric. Sometimes they adopt this, okay, next week class of call Mavadi. No ad hoc system will work. You have to write SOPs for every step. For how to start a school, how to run a school, when to give holidays, how to give increments, how to recruit, every has to be stopped. Operating process. Once you do the systems, I admire the government. In spite of its madness, there is an order in the madness of the government. Whosoever become the chief minister, whosoever become the prime minister, country would run. The system is decided. System will run the system, program. So therefore, if a huge system like the government of India, government of Karnataka can run on a system, our schools should better plan the processes now. For example, you go to government, there is a filing system. A writes and somebody forwards it, he creates it, third step, it cannot miss, cannot miss. And whatever you write is on the file now, and is all computerized, absolutely maintained well. So therefore, I must maintain processes in the school start from tomorrow. Secondly, our teachers must be told, no free lunch now. It is going to be tough. You must work hard. Know your subject, know your ability to communicate, improve your English, or improve whatever language you are using, make it better. And third and most important, don't take the students for granted. And when students come to with a difficulty, I must be able to answer in a way that is acceptable to them. And most important is managements and principals should sit together and think what kind of subjects we can offer in the coming years.
Thank you, sir. Few things I would surely imbibe, and what we call is the future education. Just what we think, what we experience today, which already we have tried 20 years back, 2003.
Yes,
I was
yes.
a student of
Yes.
International Academy for Creative Teaching.
Yes.
Their syllabus which we had were different.
Yes.
Creativity, communication skills, ethics in teaching, creative pursuits, counseling, right? So social science pedagogy, all pedagogies. So these are, and ICT, these are all the skills were taught for us in a kind of like a BCT, Bachelor of Creative Teaching, 2003.
Yes.
Those things are the today's essence, today's skills of the teachers. So only visionary can do that. So we are indeed lucky to have such course and being resourceful teachers today. So, and today for us, what NEP says is which we have experienced 20 years back, which we said the multidisciplinary projects is we had project-based learning. It's like, I remember social science, I went to Coffee Estate and we had a project there.
Yes.
Yes,
Yatish, I'll interrupt you. Did you not find that syllabus crazy? No BEd
It
college
was
offered,
crazy.
no college offered that subject. Like teaching creativity and then journal writing. You remember how much tough it was? Journal writing and on-the-spot assessments. Suddenly you are called and asked to speak. You are asked to present a paper on that. One day time given to you, next day you will make a PPT and make presentation. We prepared you for a war. And that was done 23 years ago.
Yes, 20 years. Except for 2023, 24 is our batch. second batch. So this is a kind of an exposure which need to have for the teachers. So hope those days which were very difficult for us to see. I used to have to go to Bangalore and make a house and stay there and go to IAC. And it's not like hours of like a regular period of like a 10 to 5. No, we used to log into the school, get into the school at 7:30. We don't know the time which we came out.
Yes.
And it is not only the students stayed. I could see Karajagi sir staying in the office till 8:30. So this kind of ambience we should create in order to create a future teachers. What is future? See now NEPs now it's made the like a kind of like rubrics how to make it. We had rubrics based assessment.
Yes.
We had grade based assessment. We almost like a counseling and mentoring skills, how skillfully, how strategically it has been taught to us and implemented on us. Still it's there with us. 20 years we don't feel like BCT has been done just 20 years back. We feel like this has been done just last year and we still were fresh teachers. Wish the festival. So this is how children would get, and also along with that there will be a shloka, along with there will be something to be give it and take it back. This is all we have exercise on children. This is how if you want to save the culture and how to be a cultured school and how to develop the culture, this very, very simple cultural series which we had. From June to till March, yes, enough cultural series we had. These are all future necessary requirements. So these things, thank you, sir, for it's like eye-opening exercise for all of us.
Thank you.
And
Anybody
if you have
have
any
questions?
questions, queries, please, you can just unmute and you can just ask.
ಪ್ರಶ್ನಾವಳಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ? MBS sir?
Sir, one small doubt, sir.
Yes, ಹೇಳಿ sir.
Dr.Gururaj Karajagi, sir.
Yes, sir, ಹೇಳಿ sir.
How does all it work the Indian context? So many constraints are the Indian system of education and all that. What all you said about multiple and NEP and all that, I agree. In Indian context, in large classrooms from high school to degree level, how does it work, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In fact, it will work, sir. For example, when I came to Bangalore, became a principal of a college, I could not think beyond PCM and CBZ and standard combinations. But today you go to private universities, sir. I was thinking college would have 2,000 students, 3,000 students maximum, nothing more than that. The biggest college at that time had about 3,000 students. But today when I go to private universities now, they're called deemed universities, Reva University here, I went to all universities, I don't have to name one. Each campus has about 16 to 18,000 students. And there are at least about 100 departments. And Vice Chancellor says, I can't recognize my faculty. There's so many people are there. As I told you, system is running this program now. And then, all the colleges are offering such strange combinations now. In fact, when we thought engineering earlier, we had only 3 or 4, civil, mechanical, electrical, and what is that? Computer science came later on. Civil, electrical, mechanical, and something, electrical, something like that. Today, now number of combinations given for engineering are unlimited. They have to do it because today I saw a university announcing, I have a BTech program in artificial intelligence, data analytics. Everybody is offering that because that is what is required now. Similarly, sir, schools also would change. For example, you go to some of the best schools in Bangalore, international schools, I would say, it looks totally different from our schools. Totally, because I myself was a principal of an international school where 8th standard, 7th standard student did seminars. In fact, I had told the teacher, don't teach 100% of the chapter. 15% of the chapter should be taught by the students only. Don't teach it. And we tell them much earlier, 2 of you teach this unit, 2 of you teach this unit. We don't do that even in colleges now. But students did it 25, 27 years ago. And they did very well. And it is becoming a norm now. So, slowly and slowly, sir. Now NEP is changing the mindset of people. Earlier, conventional people said, how can you get a 10th standard without mathematics and science? Today, people can do SSLC or 10th board examination without science and mathematics. They can choose music, they can choose sports and do it. So slowly, once you start doing that, our mental barriers will disappear. We start telling, yes, you can take any subject of your choice and do it. And management will be fighting with one another to start more number of subjects in each class. It will take time. It will take time. Because earlier we had honor scheme. Honor scheme is closed and 3 important subjects, 3 major subjects we got, and that was also accepted. I was a student of major and minor. I did not know 3 subjects. Slowly we got used to it. Now in colleges we have got choice-based curriculum. You can make it choice-based. That also college accepted now. Semester system came in, we have accepted. I'll tell you one interesting thing what happens, sir. A farmer had a cow. The cow became old, but he was taking care of it. One day the cow went for grazing and fell into a deep well, old dilapidated well, not unused well. He tried his best to pull the old cow out. It was not possible. He found many methods, but it was not possible to lift the cow up. Then he said, I can't see the cow dying there without anything. So we put the debris on that and close the well. Let the cow die once for all. He was actually interested. Throw the debris on the cow and cow will die. Then he brought a small tractor and pushed the debris on that. Another tractor, another tractor, another tractor. So he wanted to close the well. You know what interesting thing happened? Every time he poured 1 tractor load of mud and clay, the cow jumped on that and stayed there. Another layer he went up, and finally cow walked out of the well because he was trying to close the well. What I'm trying to say is, when cow is pushed to the corner, it knows how to climb step by step. It's a human nature. So similarly here also, when new things come, I can't remain a spectator to it. Things have to change. And parents are changing, students are changing. Believe me, sir, teachers also are changing. Management should also change. Things will happen. Slowly, sir. It will not happen all of a sudden. It happens gradually.
Thank you, sir. Teachers must be extraordinarily competent.
How ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ sir, ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Because if you have a lovely operation theatre, but your doctor is not trained to do surgery, is a disaster. So we build a beautiful building, but the teachers are not competent, it is not worth it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಒಬ್ರು ಇದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಪ್ರೇಮ ಅಂತಾರೆ.
ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಗೀತಾ ಅವರು.
ಗೀತಾ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಗೀತಾ?
ಹೆಸರು ಪ್ರೇಮ.
ಕಾವೇರಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, you raised your hand.
Sir. Very good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening.
Yeah, just now I was looking at Yati sir, conveying so many things, and he was so proud of completing his course in ACT, and how blessed he feels being your follower. So, yes, because we have had a chance to work with him, so I know how creative he is.
Yes.
So I just want to ask one question to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All these, while we were discussing about so many things, but how did you even envision that all this will be the need of this hour then, around 20 years back?
But in fact, I'll tell you something interesting, ma'am. I'm a very quixotic person, very peculiar person. When I was the principal of the college, I was the youngest principal in the country. I was 28 when I became the principal of the college. My mind works very fast. I think at least 25 years. I had to think, otherwise I can't be a good leader of this college. Can you believe at that time, I'm talking of 1981-82, I was the first one to computerize the entire college data. Then computer was not in terms of Windows. It was only basic COBOL, Pascal and Fortran. I had no wireless internet, we didn't have. I had a computer lab on top. I drew a wire, connected to it my computer, for a simple reason. If a student comes to me, a parent comes to me and says, how is my daughter studying? What answer can I give? 1,500 students in the college. I don't remember as a principal. And what I had to do, I'd find which course he's taking, art, science or commerce, then talk to teachers, find out details and then communicate to him. It takes about 4 or 5 hours. I can't make him wait for so long. I thought it is my duty to inform the parents the minute they come here. Entire thing was put on the computer. For each student, I had kept 3 sheets. The student's photograph will be there, the parent's name, her blood group, her mentor, and where she studied at 10th standard, PUC, and when did she join my college, and marks in the test, attendance, everything is back. It gives a graph also, how is she progressing. Each student program was done. In fact, Secretary Education, Government of Karnataka told me, sir, this is what we want in government, we have not done it. Because I did because I needed it. When a parent comes, I can tell him, look, your child is absent for the classes for the last 4 days. I can tell him. This was easy. And secondly, I started thinking, teachers have to be evaluated. By whom? The students have to assess the teacher's performance. Only 2 people in the country did it. Xavier College, Bombay, and myself together. Both the principals sat together, designed a questionnaire, implemented in the class, so that the students assess the teacher's performance. And I had, remember, in 1983, I started video recording of classroom teaching. We did not have CCTVs at all at that time. I got a regular TV recorder, camera, and recorded the class and gave it to them. You study for yourself. How do you teach? Do you think your board work is good, your movement is graceful, or your language is good, your classroom management is fine? See for yourself. It is only to improve the teacher. And I was the first one to introduce mentor scheme in the college, which Yatish knows about it. Mentor scheme. Because I came from Japan, I saw that happening. I implemented it here. Some things I did, and even now the NAC says mentoring is important now. And people say teacher's assessment is required. And my colleagues, my lecturers in my college, my previous college, they keep asking, sir, how did you think at that time teacher's assessment to be done? Yeah, you can see beyond tomorrow. If you are so focused on what you are doing, you can definitely see beyond tomorrow. I will not be alive when this happens, but take it from me, this will happen. What I am mentioning now, these 7, 8 points I mentioned, there is no way. Because now you have to benchmark with, not with the neighboring school, but benchmark with the school in like Eton in England, or Hilton School in US, to compare with that. It will happen, because the world has become small now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. MBA, sir.
Ravi Shankar sir also raised his hand. Kannada Ravi Shankar sir.
Yes.
Ravi.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, this is Hemlata from Prudence International School.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. So
Namaste,
nice.
sir.
Namaste, ma'am.
ತಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ನಾನು ಬೇಂದ್ರೆಯವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಅವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಾರತ್ವದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಬೇಂದ್ರೆಯವರಂತೆ ಮುಂದೆ 20 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್. ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It is only passion about teaching ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದೇನಿಲ್ಲ.
Yes, I know that. ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಟೀಚರ್, ಆದ್ರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷಣಗಳನ್ನ ಖಂಡಿತ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೋಟಿವೇಶನಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ನ ನಮ್ಮ 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. You are the inspiration for me always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
MBA, sir.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, ನಾನು ನಿರಂಜರಾದ್ಯ.
Yes, sir. Yes.
ಈಗ ಆ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬರೋ 10 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡೋ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆದನ್ನ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯತೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ತುಮಕೂರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು?
ಖಂಡಿತ ಸರ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಅವರ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಫ್ಯಾಸೆಟೆಡ್. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಡಿ ಈಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ನಾನೀಗ ವಿ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಒನ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಇನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್. ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರೇಟ್ ಇನ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್. Can you believe that? I have taken as a faculty in ACT now. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ನಾವು? ಬಟ್ I have taken her already as a doctorate in nutrition and clinical biology ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು PhD ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I will send her to school. Talk to the teachers and see how we can guarantee good nutritional food for the children. Educate them. ಸರ್ ಅಮ್ಮಂದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ದೇನೆ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಹಾಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಹಾಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತಿನ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅದು ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಗುಡ್ ಫುಡ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫುಡ್? ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ. ಟೀಚರ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬರೀ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡೋದಂಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ she also becomes a mentor, guiding them what kind of food you should take, how do you consume, ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನರಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೆ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಈಗ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ನೋ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಸರ್, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ PhD ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಐ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ನೋ ಅದರ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ NEP ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಇರುತ್ತಾ, ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಹೋಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ರೈಟ್ಸ್. ಡಾರ್ವಿನ್ ಹಿಂದೆನೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಸರ್ವೈವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಿಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಈ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನರಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಗೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಈಗ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಯಾರು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. NEPಲಿ ದೋಸ್ ಹೂ ವಾಂಟ್ ದೇ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಸರ್ವೈವ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಟು ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್, ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್.
ಎಸ್, ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ರವಿ, ಏನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್. ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದು ಕೂಡ, ಮತ್ತು ನಾನು ಗುರುರಾಜ್ ಕರ್ಜಗಿ ಸರ್ನ ನಾನು ಜೀವನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಹೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವರು ನನ್ನ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಗುರುಗಳು ಕೂಡ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜಾಲತಾಣದಲ್ಲೇ ನಾನು ಕಲಿತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು. ಬೇಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ PhD ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಸರ್. ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ಸರ್, ನಾನು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಕುತೂಹಲ ಸರ್, ಇದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನಾನೊಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು, ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಷಾ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕ. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಗಮನಿಸಿದಂತೆ ತುಂಬ ಓವರ್ಲೋಡೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ತಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೂ ಕೂಡ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಇವತ್ತಿರೋ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಗಳು NEP ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್, NEP ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಕ್ರಿಸ್ತು ಜಯಂತಿ ಕಾಲೇಜು. ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ವಿಚಾರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ, ತುಂಬ ಅಂದರೆ 100% ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು. ಓವರ್ಲೋಡೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ವರ್ತಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಆಗ ನಾವು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ. ಆದರೆ ನೀವು ವಿದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹೋಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಕುತೂಹಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ. ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಆದರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಕುತೂಹಲ ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ನಾನೊಂದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಹೋಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕೂಡ, ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರವಣಿಗೆ ಕೌಶಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕೂಡ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಮೊರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೇಳಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಮತ್ತೆ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಮೊರೆ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಪದವಿ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಹೊಸ ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ, ಅಂತಹದ್ದೇನಾದರೂ ಈ ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾ? ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಲಹೆ ಸರ್.
ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್, ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ಸೋಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕಾರಣ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಇದು ಕಾರಣ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡೀಪ್ ರೂಟೆಡ್. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೀಗ ನಾನು ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, the direction of education has changed, the quality has increased. I know, ನಾನು ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಲ್ತದ್ದನ್ನ ಈಗ ಹುಡುಗರು PUC ಕಲಿತಾರೆ, ನಾನು PUC ಕಲ್ತದ್ದನ್ನ 8th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಕಲಿತಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ನಾನು ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಲ್ತದ್ದನ್ನ ಕಲಿತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಾನ್ ಅಪ್. ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ ದಾರಿ ಬದಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ನಮ್ಗಾದದ್ದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ, ನನಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಒಂದು ಹಾದಿಯಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಅದು ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ದಾರಿ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪಾಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ಪರಸ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದಾಗ, ಈಗ ನಾನು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೋ ವಿಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ದಿಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ರು ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯಿಂದ ಜರ್ನಿ ಮುಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ, ದಿಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಪೈಲಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್, ಯು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡೆಡ್ ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಏರ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟೆಸ್ಗೆ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಟುಕ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಅಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಧಾಡ ಎದ್ದು ಹೊರಟ್ಬಿಡು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ವಿಮಾನ ಹೋಗೋದು ಒಂದು ಉಪಕರಣ ಮಾತ್ರ. ನಾನು ದಿಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಟ್ಟೋದು ಮುಖ್ಯ, ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದು ಉಪಕರಣ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಉಪಕರಣ ಐ ಪೇಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್, ಐ ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಹಂಗಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನನಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಒಂದು ದಾರಿ ಆಗದೇನೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಬದುಕಿಗೆ ಉಪಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ರಹದಾರಿ. ಪೆನ್ ಮುಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ರಿಫಿಲ್ ತೆಗೆಸ್ ಬೀಸಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಂಚೂರು ದುಃಖ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ರಿಫಿಲ್ ಹಾಕೋತೀನಿ. ಉಪಕರಣ ತಾನೇ ಅದು, ಅದು ಹೋಯ್ತು, ಮುಗಿದ ಕೆಲಸ ಅದು. ನಾವೀಗ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಮನುಷ್ಯರ ನಡುವಿನ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ಮೊದಲಿನ ಹಾಗೆ 4 ಜನ 5 ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಯಾರಿಗಿರಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಬಹಳ 2. ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ದುರ್ಬಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಮನೇಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಗು ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಟಿಕೆ ಸಾಮಾನು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಒಂದು ನರ್ಸರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಆಗೋಷ್ಟು ಆಟಿಕೆ ಸಾಮಾನು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮಗು ಕೆಳೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ, ನಾವೇ ತಂದು ಹಾಕಿ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಒಂದು ಬಟ್ಟೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರೋದು, ಒಂದು ಆಟ ಸಾಮಾನು ತರೋದು, ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು. ಈಗ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ದೊಡ್ಡ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ. ಇಫ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್, ಕೇಳದೇನೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಬೆಲೆ ಇರೋಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ರಾಶಿ ಸಾಮಾನು ಆಟಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಕಳೆದದ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಆಡೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ತಂದ್ರು 3 ಸಲ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ ಮಗು, ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಗಿಡ್ದಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು ಯಾರಿಗೊಂದು ಹೊಸ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ನಾಗೆ ಕೊಡೋದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮಗುಗೆ ದುಃಖ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬೇಜಾರಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಸಣ್ಣವರಿದ್ದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಆಟಿಕೆ ಸಾಮಾನು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮನ, ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊತಿದ್ವಿ. ವಸ್ತುವಿನ ಬೆಲೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಂದ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ ಸೈಕಾಲಜಿಕಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್, ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ವಿತ್ ಇಟ್. ಈಗ ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳು ಹಂಗ ಅಳ್ಳಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್, ಈಗ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ಯಾಂಪರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ, ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಿನಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಸಣ್ಣವರಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಇಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ಸಿಗ್ತದೋ ಆ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗು, ನಾನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಅಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್, ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಅಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್, ಇಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತದು. ಈಗ ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಪ್ಪ ಸಾಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಈಸಿ ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿಲಿ, ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಅದನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಚಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮನ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾಕೆ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟೆಡ್. ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ಪೇ ಅಳ್ಳಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಟು ಮೀ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ನಾನು ಒಂದ್ಸಲ VTUದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ನೀವೊಂದು ರೂಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ 75% ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಆ ರೂಲ್ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಯಾರು ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಎಂದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುಡ್, ದೇ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ 75% ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೀಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ಕೆಲಸ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. Earlier, teacher was the only source of information and knowledge. ನಾನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಟೀಚರ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಏನು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಟೀಚರ್. ಈಗ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್. ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ 10 ಕಡೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ರೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಟೀಚರ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನಲೈಸ್ಡ್. ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಟ್ ದಿ ಸೆಂಟರ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಹಿ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್, ಡಸಂಟ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್. ಬೇಡ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬಾದರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಟೀಚರ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು, ಕಂಪ್ಲೇನ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿ, ಬಹಳ ತಮಾಷೆ ಇದೆ ಇದು, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮೊದಲು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಆಗೋದು ಸರ್. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಆಗೋದು ಹುಡುಗರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಆಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 1985 there has not been a single strike from the students? ಯಾಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ. When multiple information centers are available, teachers' role is marginalized. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಗತ್ತೆ ಬಿಡೋದು, ಬೇಕಾದಂಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ವಾಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್. ಇದು ಬಂದಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಗೇನೆ. ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊಸದಲ್ವಾ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರೇನು ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ಇದ್ದೆ ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಯು, ಗಂಡ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಪಾಡಿతో ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಆನ್ ಫೇಸ್, ಅದೇ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡೂ ಮೈ ವರ್ಕ್, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಪಾಠ. ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಹಾಗೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ getting information and getting good grades so that career is successful. Sorry, I made a very long answer for a short question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think we're exceeding the time.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And with your blessings, surely we have the virtual sessions in upcoming days on all the
Yes.
modules which you've given. Same
Exactly.
blended learning,
Yes.
upskilling competencies,
Yes.
building the new techniques and skills, multidisciplinary approach. These are all our modules of
Yes.
upcoming months. In fact.
Yes.
So we will slowly, with your guidance, we will proceed with these sessions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
MBA, sir?
Now I request our educational mentor, our MP Sadashiva sir, to give a vote of thanks for this session. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to all the members of ACT Tackle family, the directors, resource persons, and participants. We had a marvelous inauguration session, which certainly goes a long way in motivating the teachers in the present pedagogic setup. Revival of ACT Tackle in Tumakuru was very much needed and was the dream of many, which has materialized and has come true. On behalf of all of us, I express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Gururaj Karajagi sir, an eminent educationist, for all as well as the participants. Sir, your session is certainly most valuable and greatly useful in updating and upskilling all the participants, opening their eyes to the recent trends and future emergings, especially skills, knowledge, and competence, urging us to be visionaries. I thank the President, the Director, the resource persons, and the technicians for their full support in our venture. I thank all the participants and look forward for their cooperation and interest in the programs to come. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for joining us and being patient, listening for almost being with us for 2 hours. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next session, ಇದೆಯಾ Yatish sir?
Sir, I think I have to call sir and I have to inform. I've sent a new link to you. Sir, can you just call